Season's greetings and welcome to another episode of Graceful Conversations, where we delve into inspiring stories of determination and success as we seek to help you to be motivated and go for it all. I'm your host, Debbie Bissoon, and today's episode features the indomitable Kahlil Harris, the founder of Monumental Marketing Agency and New Energy Generation Limited. Now, his story is a testament of perseverance, hard work, and determination. Help me welcome our very special guest, Kahlil Harris. Hi, Kahlil.
Hi,
good to see you.
Thank you for having me here. I can't believe it was me we're talking about, but I'm happy.
You best believe it, sir. It's you who I'm talking about. Kahlil, this journey has been one of hard work for you, but you know, every entrepreneur has a beginning. So we hear about the indomitable Kahlil, who's now an adult doing big things. But give us some backstory into the beginning of it all. Who was Kahlil as a boy growing up? Where did you grow up? Take us back.
Born and raised up till 8 in Kingston, but went to country, Crosshill, deep rural. My mom took us there when we were young. The whole family moved because...
You said Croftsville, but I want you to be specific. This is Clarendon.
Clarendon, Crosshill, deep rural, North Clarendon, right? So we moved because of, everybody can remember the Enquirer newspaper. So my dad was a journalist, and certain things with that made us had to move. Okay. So we moved away. So at about, I think I was like 8, 9. But quickly after, I remember just being there, and then I passed common entrance to go to Clarendon College. The great
That's
Clarendon
school.
Amazing. All great people.
I know.
And so went to Clarendon College. But the whole, as a kid, what happened was, I mean, always, as my mom said, when she used to ask me, even as young as I can't remember, she said, "What you want to become?" I would say, "I want to become a businessman," or "I want to own something." I just wanted to own something. And I didn't understand. I'm sure I didn't understand. What I saw, when I look back, what I think it was my dad was on West Street. That was where Enquirer was. And what he used to do was, the guys outside used to be just the biggest guys that owned the shops, and they just used to be, hey, just seemed so dominant. So I wanted to be that guy. And that's basically where that came. But as a child, I just used to trying to be the boss all the time.
Wow. Okay. Kahlil, I mean, as a Clarendonian, we know Clarendon can be very fun, right? Because you're there doing the most organic things. I'm going to call it the more organic things, right? So what kind of students were you during your time at Clarendon College?
Well, listen, Clarendon College for me, it was boarding school. So I went there at 10 years old, and I was bored. My parents, as I said, my dad was in Kingston. My mom was abroad a lot. She was here, but she was abroad a lot. So I was in boarding school most of the time. I went home at summertime, and I went home at Christmas.
What was that like?
All right. So that was a lot of songstersites, for those people who know. Just being there, hanging out with the boys on dorm, growing up kind of rough, but it was fun. You know, people to pace each other, people do little things. It was coming out on the hallways and doing crazy things at night. Just being a boy. So it was amazing. The great thing about Clarendon College is that it's a co-ed school. So, you know, you had a lot of fun. You had lots of friends from both sides of the wall. So it didn't just make you so hard. You would sit down all night talking to a person also. And from you had one of my best friends to this day came from Clarendon College, and she's still my best friend right now. So, you know, that was, Clarendon College was super fun. That was my best years of my life.
I know, it's the best school.
All right?
It's the best school. So you wanted to be the boss, and then you started when to actually boss up?
As a youth, no. Remember, when I went to Croftsdale, we used to have like handheld games at the time. There was nothing like handheld games. You used to buy like Ninja games or whatever games, right? And so I used to tell my mom, like, she used to say, "What would you want when went away. I said, I want these games. And I used to sell them at $10 each or $5 each at the time, right? So $5 for a game, I used to sell a game. I used that to buy like my bicycle or put things on my bicycle. And then going to high school, that continued. Like I'd sell like we had Game Boy now. And then now I started asking my mom, buy me some cartridges. And then I started using that to buy more cartridges, which I used to sell again at that time, $20 a pop, I remember. So that was my vibe, just always hustling.
So buying and selling back these games, right? But then you went into marketing and energy.
Well, marketing, it seemed like an easy transition, but what I did, I went abroad for school. While I was there, I was like, well, saying this, when I was in high school, persons like, I used to stand up and say, I want to be a businessman. And they were like, what is that? What type of business? And it asked too much questions, so I just kind of get annoyed. Like, so I started saying, I want to be a pilot.
Okay.
So I did all science subjects and then went abroad now and said, okay, this is where I'm going to be a pilot. And went abroad, and my uncle was just this big entrepreneur, didn't know, in Chicago, and he was just like killing it. He owned a bunch of real estate. He was like one of the first black millionaires in Chicago, and it was like amazing to see him do things. So while I'm there working part-time with him, going to school, I'm like, this is what I want to do. This guy is killing it. So I transitioned back into, okay, I'm doing business subjects. And this is where the money is. And so I went towards like doing finance, like wanted to be on the stock exchange, wanted to do that type of thing. And continued that flow. But then when it came back to Jamaica, like the whole doing business, marketing just seemed like I did business development. So we developed business, managed businesses, starting to get funding for businesses. But then the whole write a business plan, write a marketing plan, do a website, just kind of kept growing like that. And that was us leading into Monumental Partners.
Okay, so Monumental Marketing Agency. Give us some details about it and also about New Energy Generation Limited.
All right, so I know the transition sounds weird, but marketing opens your mind to so much different products. So when you're marketing a person's product, you need to know everything about that company. You need to know more about their goals more than anything else, right? You know about the entrepreneur, you know about the business, you know inside out because you're marketing their business. What happens is that as we get in, one of my clients was CWH Gas, and I just started working with him as a consultant, and we were building out stuff. But he was like, I'm pulling back into country, leaving Kingston. I said, I like it. Let me be a part. And so he said, yeah, you can. So I bought a franchise in it, and that began New Energy. But it never stopped Monumental. It was just a transition. So it was the perfect way to turn something else because I had a backing of a complete company behind us. And I was just the marketing side of that company, which was perfect.
Yeah. Well, the world seemed to be going towards, paying more attention towards the energy sector, right? What have you discovered in the past, let's say, 3 years about this sector?
Well, one thing is that there's lots of investments happening in it. We're moving really fast that way, but we're trying to look at it from a more, there's more solar, there's more clean energy. We're moving towards cleaner energy, trying to do LNG or whatever situation. I know a couple of guys have transitioned their business to that way. So over the years, what I've seen is persons just kind of moving into finding ways to have a cleaner way of producing our fossil fuel, or we're now seeing electric cars, but it's still being generated by electricity. So while there are some people still lagging behind, there's so much development in the industry that's keep moving towards a way of getting broader, increasing their scope. And as we can see, the major investments are happening here in Jamaica.
And your venture into the energy sector does not mean that Monumental Marketing is now on the back burner.
No. Yeah. It was a continuation. So it was just me being an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, looking at different sectors and saying, okay, I'm doing this over here. I have my business partner. with me, so he can manage that way right there. So I'm over here doing our thing, my thing, while he's over there managing. But always right there.
But Khalil, you know, in the field of entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs worldwide lament how hard it is and how important it is to have the right people in their corner. So you have the Grace Kennedy Financial Group, who they've been partnering with you now for a while. Let's talk about how they've helped you.
Our relationship started with First Global Bank being a client of Monumental Marketing Agency. It transitioned to us having bank accounts with them. Then, as I opened up New Energy, what happened next was that we basically opened all our bank accounts with them, started doing a lot more transactions. Um, Miriam was a big part. She pushed forward even when I was doing my bank account. She was like there and saying, "Hey, move forward with anything." And then what happened over the years is just every time we needed them or whenever we could lean on each other from the marketing side or from the business side, we could always lean. And I know everybody by name there now. Everybody by name. I remember a good, a cool story was that one of our other bankers that we had, and I said to Chris, "Listen, man, we know everybody at that bank. Why are we over here begging these people and should be over here?" so and that was just our transition from them, and we've been with them.
Yeah,
Since.
because it's all about maintaining those relationships, right? Exactly. And giving value for value. That's what it's all about. And you have partnered also with some local brands and some international ones as well. We're talking about Anchor and Dunsero Falls. How did you maintain those relationships over the period that you have?
So I'd say proper communication, always communicating, always talking, you know, keep that relationship open so that they understand your vibe and you understand their vibe and you keep it that longevity and just trusting that you're open-minded and you're always looking out for new ideas, new thoughts, new things that makes a client always or any relationship does always keep growing.
Yeah. Now, you know, nowadays we have all these stories online about entrepreneurs who had that one time that they felt, you know, close shop, let me just end this and move on. I feel like I'm taking you back there, right? That one time when you felt like this is it, I'm done, moving on.
I think that biggest point was more when we started the company more than so we had little things on the side. You know, Monumental was basically a side gig for me and Chris back in the day. But when we left corporate now and said, okay, we're gonna do this on our own, that first 2 years of boy, where that gonna get? Oh, we have some money. We have some money. That was kind of the struggle, but I think that was the lowest years of our lives. Over the years, obviously, business is like this, right? So it's roller coaster. But and sometimes you feel like, oh my God, we were just talking this evening when I saw that question, and I said, listen, with that, is that a big? Is it that we're going through, or is any time as bad as? Never. But every time feels the same way though. But you have to always remember that time and say, no, I'm way better than them.
Wow.
So.
Wow. And I know you have much farther to go, for sure, right? How do you see Grace Kennedy Financial Group, you know, helping you to get to those goals and those aspirations?
All right. So, listen, I'm in my branch probably 2 times every week, just talking to my people, talking about new ideas. Hey, we're gonna do this, putting them on queue. Banking is relationship, and any financial group, part of anything.
I love that. Can you say that one more time, please?
Banking is relationship. If they don't know you, they're not gonna do anything with you.
Put something right there. This is post that pin at the top of the conversation. I love that. Yeah.
Right, it is. And if you don't know and they don't know you, it can't work. Yeah. So you have to ensure that they know where you're going and what you're doing, and then vice versa, right? So stay on point with that. So what we've done is just ensure that they understand our business plan, keep renewing that business plan, keep renewing your financials, keep abreast of your financials, keep on top of that. The bank can't just give you money or help you to do a project or even recommend you if they can't even see your financials. They can't understand how much money you made. That doesn't make any sense. I know we all love to say, boy, We don't want to show anybody our things, but it's your bank. They can work it out any way you take it, But it's good to have proper bookkeeping, and so yeah, we grow with them.
Absolutely. One of the things I love about this program is that we get to share valuable recommendations and insights from entrepreneurs like yourself to younger entrepreneurs looking for just some guiding principles. And I know they're watching right now. So, as a boss, I will say, as a boss in your field, give them some advice. As young entrepreneurs out there, what should they be aware of? What should they keep in mind on this journey?
All right, so three quick things. Number one, as you heard about it, when starting out, it feels like it's super rough, right? So stickitivity is serious. So sticking to it and knowing that it feels that way. It's all perspective.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling. The truth is that you are going forward. So as long as you keep
Kahlil
going,
just give us a new word. He says stickitivity. I mean, we would say stick-to-itiveness, but I like sticky-to-itivity. We're going to put that somewhere. We're going to put that in a dictionary somewhere. Kahlil, I love it, right? So you have to have that kind of stick-to-itiveness, some backbone.
Right.
Yeah. So don't just shake with any weather.
No.
Stick to it. Yeah.
And then the other part is always pivoting, always looking at new ideas. So even in our case, Monumental Marketing Agency has been around for over 15 years. So since then, you have to learn how to pivot, because since the AI is coming in, marketing agencies has to change with the times. So even with Monumental, we've gone into Monumental promo and branding. So we're now doing branding items, promotional items. That's pivoting, that's changing with the times. And our billboard, we've done all these billboards, ads, and so on. We've gone into our own signage company with Agile Media. So that is just showing you have to keep pivoting, looking at. You can't say, okay, I'm going to stick to this. Yes, sticking to something is one thing, but you have to also look at your horizon, look at where you're going, and make sure that you're pivoting or moving along with it. I mean, you can't keep talking about, I don't know, a Telegram. There was Telegram ads at one point in time, correct? So there's no more Telegram ads. So you can't say, I'm going to do a Telegram ad right. No, it doesn't make any sense. So at the end of the day, you keep moving according to the times.
And having a good partner, like you have in the Grace Kennedy Financial Group, I'm sure is super important, right?
Super important.
What should you be looking for?
Just to be clear, the point about sticking, you must stick to your business and your values. You must stick to where you're going and your goals. But you must pivot and remain agile along the way with a little bit of agility, always swinging along the road, because you want to make sure that as things come along, right? So simply put, we have that company, that billboard company called Agile Marketing, which we've always done billboards for under these other brands. But we're looking at a signage company now, a signage company that does more signs, wall signs, and video screens. So moving with the times.
Yeah, you've moved with the times.
Move with the times. So it's not all about billboards anymore. It's more indoor signage. It's more touch screens. It's more things that are for the future.
Yeah.
You can't stay in your past. You must keep moving, but stay to your goals. Stick to what you know and what you're sure about.
So Kahlil, moving into your career now, right? All of what you've said, absolutely inspiring. But give us some insights. What is Monumental Marketing Agency and what is New Energy Generation Limited?
Great question. Thank you. So Monumental Marketing Agency started 15 years ago. It's a fully integrated marketing company that we deal with from building out your strategy to executing your digital marketing. So we've been around since when social media started and the whole buzz of, hey, this is going to be the new flurry. But Monumental always proves that, listen, you have to have all elements of marketing to have a great marketing campaign. And that's what Monumental is all about. And the big deal about Monumental, what makes us super monumental, is that we are always focused on our client. We integrate into our client. Every client that we have, people have always walked up and said, "Hey, Kahlil, I'm a business partner, Chris. You always say, oh, you work with that company?" Because they think it's just our company or we're a part of the company. Because we get in there where we ensure that we're a part. New Energy, as the transition happened, that it was actually one of our clients, CWH Gas, that came to us as a client and we worked with them. And after a while, I looked at the business and I just fell in love with the business, and then I transitioned and bought a franchise of it, and it was perfect because it was also marketing while they're doing helping me with the heavy lifting, right? It was a perfect transition. So it wasn't really moving away, it was just transitioning while
integration, really.
integration.
Yeah.
And that's more petroleum distribution and sales. So and that's what we've been in since then.
So Kahlil, now the successful businessman, are you a daddy?
Yes.
So how do you balance it though? Being an entrepreneur, being a father, how do you do it?
It makes you, it's the downside of you. So it works very well. I love the beach. I love going to the beach. So it works with my daughter. My daughter loves the beach also. So it works very well that I want to go to the beach and I'm like, hey, you want to go to the beach? And she's like, yeah. And you know, so that's perfect. I love just driving. I like just taking trips around the island. I think I know everywhere on this island. I mean, I remember one of the great stories is that when she was like 18, I said, you know what? You need to just I'm going to take you on a day of where my life is. And I just drove from Kingston. I took her downtown where my dad, Oceana Hotel. I took her over the rock for lunch. Then I took her way in, because my dad used to be over Oceana Hotel all the time. And then I took her to Cross Hill, took her through James Hill, come right down.
Did she complain about the journey?
No, she was just like, wow, you know, she's a Kingstonian. She went to Immaculate, you know, so she doesn't understand. It's a different vibe, right? And I took her to some serious rural areas, right? So, but she thought it was just so much fun. And she's like, wow, this is what you did. This is where it was. So it was kind of cool, you know. So while I used to take her, sometimes she just didn't get it. But now at 18, it was like a different perspective on how things are. So, yeah.
Did you train her in any way at all on this journey of entrepreneurship? Did you give her any kind of insights, you know, things to look out for while she was growing up? Because I'm sure she's observed you in your capacity as an entrepreneur. What lessons did you pass on to her?
She's a mini me. So what I think I've passed on to her, hopefully, is being frugal and also going after what you want and just understanding that, again, life is a journey, so you don't need to try and kill it, but take it as it is. So, but she's doing her thing, and at like 14, she had her little business going on. So I'm like, all right, see there. so at the end of the day, she's an enemy, and that's what she is.
Well, Kahlil, thank you so much for sharing just a little bit of your journey with us, because I'm sure we haven't even really scratched the surface, right? But thank you for letting us in and for inspiring us. You have left all of us feeling motivated. I feel inspired and more motivated to take on the new year, right? Congratulations on your business, sir. Congratulations. And on behalf of the Grace Kennedy Financial Group, we want to wish you all a joyful holiday season and a very prosperous new year. Continue to live gracefully.